Hello there. Welcome to Just the Dis. My name's Brian, and we talk about Blu-rays here. And I'm doing another collection update for you guys, which I know you seem to enjoy. A variety of stuff here to talk about. I've got some 4Ks. I have a Eureka Box Set. I have some Screen Factories. And another import. So let's get started with the latest 4K from Blue Underground, who I've really tried to do my best to champion their work in the 4K arena. I think they're one of the best out there right now doing this. And I really think that their 4K scans are, some of the best I've seen, and considering the material that they're working with, in some cases lower budget films, it really is a testament to the quality of the work they're trying to do, that these end up looking as good as they do. Now, this film they had put out on Blu-ray before, as has been the case with, I think, all of their 4Ks so far. But I own the Blu-ray, but I never watched the movie. As much as it's sort of a notorious sort of cult horror item, it is from, I want to say, 1977. Yeah, and stars Cameron Mitchell. It is called The Toolbox Murders, as you can see, and it is apparently based loosely on some actual events that took place, I think, in California in 1967. And it's the story of an apartment complex that is owned by a character played by Cameron Mitchell, and he is a lunatic. And it's pretty clear from almost the beginning that he is the killer. Trying not to be too spoilery, but it's pretty obvious from almost the very beginning what's happening. You can kind of see him through the mask and everything, but it is kind of an iconic ski mask look that he puts on here. And this is, it's pre-Halloween, post-Black Christmas, but it is, a slasher whodunit type movie that, is, I think, it precedes a lot of the big slasher ripoffs of Halloween, because it's coming before that film. It is kind of grisly and tough to watch in parts, because it deals with a character who is killing exclusively women, and they often seem to be naked or bathing or something when he goes after them and kills them with power tools. And he doesn't use the same power tool every time. He is a believer in variety, and so he uses a couple different power tools and other tools from his toolbox to murder these women. And so that's a little tough, but it's, it's an interesting genre effort. The producer, there was a commentary on here with the producer, Tony Didio, and director of photography Gary Graver, and star Pamela Ferdin. And Tony Didio has a nice little intro where he talks about opening the paper at some point in 1977, I guess early, and seeing that the Texas Chainsaw Massacre was running in theaters for the second time. And I think he was able to call the company or the producer or somebody that he knew and said, "How is this possible?" And they were just like, this is just money in the bank, these movies. You can open them twice and people will still go and pay money. And so he was like, well, I got to get on this. I got to produce something. And so he brought in some writers. He ordered a print of Texas Chainsaw to be shown at a private screening room. And he told his writers, I need you to come up with something like this. This is the market that we're looking for. And then he proceeded to watch the first 5 minutes and then leave and go to a bar because he wasn't particularly into the movie. So, a guy who didn't necessarily have the taste for the films or this film that he ended up making. But that said, he knew the market, and I believe the film did well. It's, again, it says right there, the original exploitation classic, The Toolbox Murders. So I always find those sort of origin stories fascinating, So yeah, this is a Los Angeles apartment complex. A deranged handyman goes on a killing spree, savagely murdering immoral women with tools of the trade: claw hammers, screwdrivers, power drills, and even a deadly nail gun. Let's see here. Well, it says it's been newly scanned in 4K 16-bit from its uncut original negative with Dolby Vision HDR and Dolby Atmos audio. And as I said, this transfer, along with the other 4Ks that Blue Underground has done, have impressed me. The color and the detail and the grain structure, all that stuff looks really good in this print. And yeah, it's a lower budget movie. The film stock is a certain way, but I think, it looks very good considering what we're dealing with here. And so this comes with both your 4K and a Blu-ray version. No reversible artwork that I saw there, and it's got a nice bevy of extras, including some new stuff. I want to say Toolbox Murders was one of the early Blu-rays from Blue Underground, and so that transfer been around for a while. Now we have a new transfer. We have that audio commentary I mentioned that came over from the Blu-ray. Then we have a new audio commentary with film historians Troy Howarth and Nathaniel Thompson, two stalwart genre commentators that I enjoy very much, and their track is great. And then so that's all you get on the 4K, just the two commentaries and TV spots and such. And then on the Blu-ray, we have a bunch of new stuff, including new interviews with director Dennis Donnelly, new interview with star Wesley Urey, new interview with actress Kelly Nichols and actress Marianne Walter, who gets killed in the movie. New slashback memories. David Del Valle remembers Cameron Mitchell, which is cool. That's sort of more of an overview of the actor. And then the new They Know I've Been Sad video essay by film historian Amanda Reyes and Chris O'Neill. And I love this this trend of Chris O'Neill and Amanda Reyes working together. I really enjoy both of their work as video essayists and commentators. And this is a really cool video essay from them. So a really nice 4K release from Blue Underground to start off. Toolbox Murders. Then we have, I picked this up from Diabolic. I got on the wish list, where they notify you when it comes in, and I snagged one. I had heard some people talk this up. I'm sure it's coming out stateside probably at some point, although I haven't heard any confirmation of that. This is an import, and I haven't even had a chance to watch it. I just got it in, but I remember Justin LaLiberty was a big fan of this Blu-ray, or this 4K, excuse me, and that sort of pushed me over the top to want to pick it up. And it has some new features. If you've ordered previous editions of this, a new thing called Basic Instinct, Sex, Death, and Stone, new and unending story, scoring Basic Instinct. Then you have some other stuff that I'm assuming is part of previous releases, including an audio commentary with Paul Verhoeven and Jan de Bont, and another track there. And then I guess those are the new features, but there's a lot of stuff happening here. And of course, the Blu-ray is region locked, region B locked there, but then the 4K you can play on your US 4K player. So if you're a fan of Verhoeven's Basic Instinct, like I said, I've only heard great things. I haven't put it in yet, but all the reviews I've read and all the comments I've seen have been positive for this release of Basic Instinct. But like I said, I could easily see it getting a stateside release. It's such a high-profile movie that this is from Studio Canal. I can't remember if it's like Lionsgate or who owns it in the States, but hopefully they'll put out a stateside release. But regardless, I decided to pick this one up, and I'm going to crack it open very soon. Those are the two 4Ks I got. Next up, I have my Eureka Box Set. This one came recommended from my pal Flip, and he called it like the Al Adamson box set like a Kung Fu Al Adamson box set, if that makes any sense in terms of this director, Joseph Kuo. I'm not familiar with his work, but I guess they're kind of, I don't want to say schlocky, but Kung Fu films that are fun, but maybe a little goofy. I don't know. But it's a really nice box set from Eureka, and it comes with 2 discs and some lobby card type stuff here, and a booklet, a really nice soft cover book. The Cinematic Vengeance of Joseph Kuo is the name of the box set, and a nice matte book with a bunch of essays about each of the films. Really nice set. And I don't know any of these. So you have your 2 discs, and each one has 4 movies in them. And you have new commentaries on, it looks like maybe all of them on the first set. And so you can see what's included here. It's Shaolin Kung Fu, The Shaolin Kids, 18 Bronzemen, and Return of the 18 Bronzemen. And yeah, I think these are 1970s films for the most part, but I don't have the dates on every single one. The second disc, let me just crack this open so you can see. You actually get 2 discs in here. Each one has 2 films on it. There's some artwork inside, but not like reversible artwork. And then on the second round, you get the 7 Grandmasters, the 36 Deadly Styles, the World of Drunken Master, and the Old Master. And again, you have, well, in this case, original Mandarin audio, optional English dubbed. You have newly translated subtitles, brand new commentaries. I mean, Eureka, I sort of have undervalued them a little bit in terms of the channel. I haven't been talking about enough of their stuff because I have to import it, and I usually import stuff via Diabolic DVD. And sometimes I miss out on things, and then I have to get on wait lists, and I don't always end up having that stuff in a timely manner, or I just wait around until it's on sale. But this set I really just wanted to get my hands on because I like me some Kung Fu films, and this seems like a whole bunch of fun stuff that I have never heard of before, and I kind of like box sets like that, where it's like I'm diving into something I really don't... I know Kung Fu films, but I don't know these, and I don't know this director, and I've talked before about how these things are like, not film school in a box, but it's very cool to have it all in one place and just be able to go on a run of watching films from a certain director and learning about him through the commentaries and all that. So very excited to check out Cinematic Vengeance, 8 Kung Fu classics from director Joseph Kuo. Next we have another import that I snagged from Diabolic. This is one I got on the waiting list for. I know my podcast pal Elric Kane is a big fan of this. This is H.P. Lovecraft's Necronomicon. This film is directed, and I can't remember if it's scripted by him as well, by Brian Usna, if I recall. Maybe not. Maybe I'm misremembering that. I don't know why I thought that. Yeah. Brian Usna, yeah. And, it has Jeff Combs in it. It has Bruce Payne, Richard Lynch, David Warner, and Elric is a fan of this one. So I've always meant to see it, and if there was a DVD, I wasn't coming across it very easily. And so I decided to pick up this release from, I can't even tell what label this is, Wicked Vision, I think they're called. I could be wrong. But it looks fun, and Usna, obviously known for his work with Stuart Gordon on things like Reanimator, and then of course Society is his own thing, and I think he's just got a real specific horror palette of that sort of Lovecraft vibe with gore and practical effects, and Jeff Combs I'm just a huge fan of. So this is another one that I just sort of blind bought based on a positive recommendation from my friend, and I know I'm not going to be disappointed. This is, I believe, region B locked. No, actually, you know what? This is all region. Right there, A, B, and C. So you can buy this and not have a region-free player, and I think it might be a little harder to get. Like I said, I put my name on the wish list over at Diabolic DVD, and I recommend always do that if there's something you're interested in that they don't have in stock. I do believe they sort of keep track of how many people wish list an item, and then if they get enough, I think that's when they'll order it if they can, or I don't know how it works exactly, but I've rarely put my name on a wish list and not gotten an email at some point where I could then purchase that item. So I recommend that. I think you could probably get it from Amazon Germany or maybe Amazon UK, but Diabolic is where I snagged it from. That's Necronomicon. Then I've got some stuff from Scream Factory. This first one is a website exclusive Roger Corman film that I've never seen called Day the World Ended. The screen's new high in naked shrieking terror with a very colorful cover. And one thing that's nice about these website exclusives they've been doing is they do tend to do new scans. This is a new 2K scan from a fine grain element. It's a black and white film. Again, I'm pretty sure this is going to look great. All the new 2K scans from black and white films that I've seen from Scream Factory have been very solid. And this has a new interview with Roger Corman, which is very cool. But it says, after the world has been destroyed by a nuclear war, an unlikely group of survivors takes refuge in a mountain retreat. With tensions mounting and trust all but gone, they discover that fighting each other is the least of their problems. Something outside is stalking them, something dangerous, something mutant. This 50s sci-fi classic stars Richard Denning from Creature of the Black Lagoon and Touch Mike Connors from Mannix, and was produced and directed by Corman. So you get that kind of cast pedigree. And again, a nice transfer. And I picked this up through the website, and they sent, I don't know if they'll still have these in stock if you order when you see this, but they sent like a really nice poster with it, full color poster of that artwork. So that was cool and kind of unexpected. Oh, shoot. Okay, so then we have The Borrower. This one I also haven't seen. Another one that came recommended from Elric Kane, and I know it's directed by John McNaughton, who did Henry Portrait of a Serial Killer and what's the Wild Things and some other stuff. I'm blanking on his filmography at the moment, but this one has always intrigued me. It's a Canon Pictures release. Not Canon Films, I guess. And it's from the creative mind of director John McNaughton. Henry Portrait of a Serial Killer comes an eerie tale of an alien killer sentenced to live the rest of his days on Earth for committing unspeakable crimes. The strange insect-like creature journeys in a lone spaceship. When he arrives on our planet, his head explodes. His survival depends on his ability to find a new head for his body. Thus begins a carnage and murder that even the city's toughest detectives, Radon Chong and Don Gordon, are unable to solve. So Radon Chong is in this. Antonio Fargas is in this. Just another one that I don't know much about. It's from 1991. It doesn't appear to have any extras, but I'm still curious about it as it's a Scream Factory release. So that's another one that I picked up. Then we have Trog, also Scream Factory. This one, of course, stars Joan Crawford and a beast monster looking guy. And he's called Trog. And it's kind of a camp classic. I remember this was part of the Warner Brothers, I think they actually called it like Camp Classics DVD collection, along with stuff like Land of the Pharaohs and The Big Cube and Attack of the 50-Foot Woman. I think we're all part of that series. But a Hollywood legend's last movie about humankind's first missing link encounter. The abominable snowman of the Himalayas, Bigfoot of the Pacific Northwest. Few claim to have seen these links to our primitive past, but when a wild half-man, half-ape emerges from his countryside cave, TV cameras are there to observe the event and the ensuing terror. People call him Trog, short for prehistoric cave dweller known as a troglodyte. To a determined anthropologist, Joan Crawford, in her final film role, he's the scientific discovery of the age. To others, he's walking death. A grocer is impaled on a meat hook. A car is tossed aside like a twig. A child is kidnapped after local resident Sam Murdoch prods the brute into a blind rampage. In true horror tradition, in the words of Murdoch's, the world's Murdochs leaves no doubt who the real savages are, but what will become of he who is part man, part monster, all Trog. This one is another new 2K scan of the inner positive. I guess they couldn't find original negative, so that will, I'm sure, be better than it has looked. New interview with film historian Kim Newman, which I always love, and I love it when Screen Factory's been involving him. He's been a big part of Imprint Films and Arrow and Indicator, but I love it when he's involved in Screen Factory releases. I'm very excited to hear his thoughts on Trog. There's a new audio commentary of film historian David Del Val, which I'm sure will be great. He's very good with this kind of material. So that is Trog from Screen Factory. And then we have Night of the Bloody Apes. This is just one that I've heard of for years. This is from MVD Visual. I just picked this up on a whim from Diabolic. It's just a movie that I've heard of for a long time. Some pretty gross stuff on the back here. The plot, well, I can explain it. Let's see here. One of the best known and yet least known Mexican horror movies, the English dub version Night of the Bloody Apes, has become an international cult favorite, but the original La Horripilante Bestia Humana, an alternate export version known as Horror y Sexo, are relatively obscure and seldom seen. This one, I think, is about a doctor who replaces his son's heart with a ape and turns him into an ape kind of story. And this is a pretty nice special edition from MVD Visual, all region. It's MVD Visual, VCI, and somebody else. But it has some nice features, a commentary track by Travis Crawford, and a video essay on Night of the Bloody Apes, and Doctor of Doom by Dr. David Wilt, system librarian, University Libraries, University of Maryland, and professorial lecturer in film studies at George Washington University, as well as one of the leading authorities on Mexican film history. I'm sorry, it looked like there's more stuff here because of this paragraph, but there's just a commentary track and a video essay, which is still more than I would expect in terms of a nice release for a movie like Night of the Bloody Apes. And by the way, I totally buried the lead here. This special collector's edition also features Doctor of Doom, an entire other feature. So you get two movies in a nice slip-cased edition. And again, I don't know much about it other than the fact that there's some ape hearts and apparently more apes. I don't know. It just intrigued me, and so I picked it up. So that's Night of the Bloody Apes. What else have we got here? We have Street Fighter in a Steelbook Blu-ray edition from Mill Creek. This is a pretty cool Steelbook. This, of course, has that plastic that you can sort of pull on, and then you lose the logo and the back. And so here's a look at what the Steelbook looks like. I think I've said before, I'm not a huge Steelbook guy, but I don't know, that Raul Julia portrait on the back is pretty amazing. I gotta say, I kind of love it. and it comes with some Raul Julia money and the Blu-ray inside. I gotta be honest, I haven't seen Street Fighter in so many years that I can barely remember anything about it, except that I remember it being pretty bonkers, pretty nuts for an adaptation of a video game. And, of course, starring Jean-Claude Van Damme, Raul Julia, as I mentioned before. Let's see here. Wes Studi. So this has some new features. It has new interviews with writer-director Steven D'Souza, actress Ming-Na Wen, actor Damien Chapa, and producer Edward R. Pressman, as well as new featurettes, Van Damme at Universal, Game vs. Film, Game Over with composer Graham Revell, the making of Street Fighter, outtakes and deleted scenes, archival audio commentary, and storyboard and video game sequences, and more. So a really nice special edition from Mill Creek, and I do love it when they do a nice steelbook. They really have they've been doing great stuff for the last several years. And if you're a fan of this movie, this seems like the edition you're going to want to own of Street Fighter. So that's that. And then we can talk about this. I have not had a chance to look at this one at all yet, but this is the 4K Ultra HD 30th Anniversary Edition of Juice, starring Omar Epps, Jermaine Hopkins, Khalil Kain, and, of course, Tupac Shakur. And I can't remember if I've seen this movie. It says Q, Raheem, Bishop, and Steele spend their days hanging out and looking for a way to get the power and respect they all call Juice. Q hopes to earn respect by becoming a scratch and mix DJ. Bishop has a deadlier plan. Take it through an armed robbery with his crew. Ernest R. Dickerson, the acclaimed cinematographer whose collaborations with Spike Lee include Do the Right Thing and Malcolm X, made his directorial debut with this powerful drama steeped in 90s urban lifestyle. Juice features the acting debut of Tupac Shakur and a hit soundtrack that includes Eric B. and Rakim, Naughty by Nature, Big Daddy, Kane, and Salt and Pepper. See, these are the things I remember. I also remember that that it's Dickerson, and I love Dickerson as a cinephile. I love him as a cinematographer. I love him as a director. And so excited to check out this new 4K HDR version of Juice. And it has a commentary by him, which I'm definitely going to be listening to. You've got the Juice Now, the making of the film, with insight from the filmmakers and cast. The Wrecking Crew, a look at the cast. Sip the Juice, the music, a look at the music of the film. Stay in the Scene, a vintage interview with the 4 main cast members. So a look back talking to Tupac, among others, in what looks like a really nice 4K from Paramount. So I definitely look forward to digging into this one as well. And then last but not least, a new one from The Film Detective, who I hope I've been able to champion enough on the channel to let you know, like, they're doing really great work, and you should just be keeping an eye on everything they're releasing. A lot of it is genre-based stuff, 50s sci-fi kind of stuff, but this is a change of pace for them. They've also done some noirs. This is called The Fabulous Dorseys. It stars Tommy Dorsey, Jimmy Dorsey, and Janet Blair. And it is a musical. The Dorsey brothers portray themselves in this rollicking musical biography, The Fabulous Dorseys, that follows Tommy and Jimmy from their upbringing in Pennsylvania to their great success in the music business. Director Alfred E. Green, the Jolson story, uses the film as a showcase for the tunes that charmed a generation, including I'm Getting Sentimental Over You and Tangerine. Janet Blair, my sister Eileen, appears with the Dorseys, while jazz buffs will enjoy cameos by Paul Whiteman, Helen O'Connell, and other stars of the day. The film's undeniable highlight is a jam session featuring the Dorseys and piano legend Art Tatum, guaranteed to get your foot tapping. So this is one of the rare biopics that includes the actual people telling their own story in a way, and that's kind of cool. I like that a lot. So this includes the Dorseys in film, an original insert essay by Don Stradley, so you get a little booklet essay in here. A full commentary track by author Jennifer Churchill. They always are doing commentaries on these. and The Fabulous Dorsey's Big Bands on Screen, a brand new documentary, also included. This is from 1947. I don't see anything about the transfer on this one. Oh, transferred in 4K from archival film elements. So a new transfer. If you've never seen The Fabulous Dorseys before, this will be a nice way to check it out because it is a 4K scan. But again, hats off to the Film Detective. Definitely keep an eye on them in 2022 because they had a great 2021. So this is the first one. This is actually, I think, a late 2021 release, but one of the first ones from them I'll be checking out this year. And yeah, just watch for these Film Detective discs. Anyway, that's going to do it for this collection update. I just want to say thank you all for your time and have a lovely week. I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.